A new sport is breaking out. Drone racing. Powered by just 4 propellers, these tiny flying machines can reach incredible speeds.
Go!
And when onboard cameras transmit live video, pilots can explore the world as never before.
Oh my God.
In this series, we'll meet the pioneers of this new drone scene.
Ready to rip?
The pilots going faster and further than ever. This is Droners. In this episode of Droners, we go guerrilla drone racing.
Go!
With pilots who fight against strict drone laws to do what they love. They venture outside their comfort zones. They play cat and mouse with the law.
We're still gonna fly.
And they even find ways to race together online.
Get off me, Doug!
We begin in New York. It's one of the toughest cities to fly drones without getting busted by authorities. But the boys from Stayfly Multirotors have found a way.
What up, what up, what up?
What's going
This
on?
is my boy Ricky Flash right here, Stayfly member.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
DRP, CGR, you already know. Stay fly, baby.
Stayfly is a notorious group of local droners. And today, the crew are gathered for a cruise through the city. They use custom-built racing drones known as quads and first-person view goggles known as FPV. It's this technology that sparked drone racing's popularity worldwide. The group's founder is drone engineer Mike Wash, aka Wash Built.
I think we're gonna set some gates.
That's what I fly all the time, nigga, with an Alien V2 setup, baby. Woo!
Drone flights are widely banned in cities, but these locals have mastered the art of flying FPV in New York without getting in trouble. For many of them, it's a legal high.
I used to ride motorcycles, and this gives me a bigger rush than a motorcycle. My heart pounds when I'm flying or almost getting ready to hit a tree, you know what I mean?
The Stayfly mission today is a journey through the boroughs of New York to scope out some new flying spots.
All right, so I don't know if you noticed, but we're in the urban jungle. So we're on the quest to finding some of the best concrete jungle, and it's gonna bring all the skills together and see who comes back with their quads or not.
Yo guys, y'all ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready.
All right, we're out of here.
Roll out.
Yeah, that's the skull building, guys. That's where we're going next. See you there.
Their first stop is a derelict building on the banks of the Hudson River.
We are here, skull building it is.
So the building is abandoned. It's been abandoned for years. We're here to rip it, man.
But they immediately run into problems.
I got some bad news for you guys.
What?
You're about to walk over to the spot, right?
Yeah.
It's all gated off already. So
serious?
I don't even think you're gonna be able to get in.
I'm ready to go break into, climb into, sneak into, whatever we need to do.
I think as soon as you guys pull in there, security's gonna make you leave. They've done it to me 2-3 times already, so.
That's part of the game.
But this isn't going to stop the Stayfly crew.
It's guerrilla FPV out here. You know, you gotta stay out of my space or I'm gonna fly in your face. That's what it is.
What channel you on?
I'm on A1.
While some pilots check the area for security patrols, the others make a plan to get past the new barriers.
I could go through the back door, just hop the gate, and y'all could go through the front door, and I could get some footage from around here. Y'all could go through the front, and whoever get kicked out first, at least we can still get stuff. You know what I mean?
The pilots known as Demi Wolf and Cheese Flight are the first to climb in.
Gotta get in there, man.
That's right.
For drone pilots trapped in cities, the journey to reach epic flying spots is often a big part of the thrill. The guys in the Stayfly crew might push the limits in this city, but they always support each other.
You had a hard time getting in there. I want to see how you're going to get out. It's going to be a good one.
Right now, we're in a very, very empty construction lot. Just foundation everywhere, but it's beautiful. You gotta find a good spot.
With no authorities in sight, now they can get going.
We're in the spot now. We gotta make it count.
Now it's time for the speedy getaway.
Oh, we're good.
Easy, easy.
You just need a little parkour skills. And then there we go.
Dirty, but cool, yo. You know what I mean? In and out real quick. If I see...
Bro. That was crazy.
I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. The hardest thing about that whole experience was getting back from over there. And oh my God. If I didn't have Ricky helping me, y'all would have seen me bust my chops on TV and everything, man.
To keep ahead of any cops, the guys must stay on the move.
What up, Philp Pro?
Time to scope out another location.
Ready? Ready to rip? Get excited, get it going, get it, don't stop, pop that drone.
The next spot is a construction site. Here the crew hide under the cover of a newly built skyscraper.
Get it, get it.
They're finally free to get in some real flying.
It's a great day, man. So far, so good. It's the best feeling ever, man.
No matter what happens, they always seem to find a way to stay in the air. And this marathon day of burning through batteries will go on into the night. If New York City is hard to fly in, imagine what it's like in one of the most densely packed areas on Earth, Hong Kong. Laws are tight and strictly enforced here. But one young freestyle pilot determined to find some space is 15-year-old Michael Zafarov.
I lived in Hong Kong for 11 years now, and I started FPV 2 years ago.
He's grown up in Wan Chai, the heart of the city. It's hard because he sees incredible spots to fly at every turn.
This is a spot in Hong Kong that's really typical. You can find many places like this, but the problem is that they're never empty. There's always somebody in there that you can annoy, and people won't like you being there. And it's a bummer because there are many places like this in Hong Kong, and there's so many opportunities, but yet again, they're never empty. That's the problem.
This means Michael and his mates are forced to fly FPV circuits inside.
3, 2, 1, start.
On the 7th floor of a downtown building, there's a place where local FPVers get together after school and work.
We come here to fly tiny whoops, like very small drones. So they're really bad in wind, so it's actually pretty nice to fly in here.
This city is full of people who want to fly, so being stuck in a building is tough.
Hong Kong is a good and bad place to fly FPV because it's easy to buy stuff, but to find a spot to fly, it's pretty difficult. Yeah, I would prefer to fly outside because you can go faster, there's more room, there's better scenery.
And that's just what Michael's planning, at his own secret spot where he can fly in peace. It's a 40-minute hike up the steep hill to one of the hidden reservoirs dotted above the city.
Each reservoir in Hong Kong has a playground to kind of hide it as if it's not there. And so this playground is really small, actually. It's a really good spot for racing because you can go as fast as you want and nobody's there to bother you. Yeah, this is my spot, basically. It's really small and you can't do much with it. But I mean, it's the spot that I go to and I know it well. The feeling of control satisfies me, and same for freestyling, I can do whatever I want. And that is what I like. I want to do whatever I want. I can express myself. I practice most of my tricks here because I know it well, so I don't have to think where I'm going or how. There's like a surprise.
Michael's practice spot might just give him the edge amongst the Hong Kong racers and catch the attention of others watching his flights online.
I want to be a professional pilot. You know, I can do this professionally and everybody knows me for my freestyling, and I also want to do some racing. But freestyling is really where I am and capturing the footage, and I want everybody to see it.
Cities like Hong Kong have yet to recognise FPV as a legitimate sport, and kids like Michael suffer as a result. But it doesn't have to be this way. Across the globe in San Francisco, pilots have found another way to keep flying: through virtual racing simulators. Colby Cortola is an FPV pilot, but is also one of the drone community's best-known virtual track designers.
I started replicating tracks that I was going to go compete at, and then I realized that I had a passion for building and designing, crazy environments that, I dreamed of flying in real life, but it just wasn't possible.
Using software called Velocidrone, he lays down courses for pilots to fly on inside the simulator.
What I like to do when I'm creating a track is start with a blank canvas. I like to have a clean slate like an artist and kind of paint a picture from nothing.
Today, Colby is going to get some first-hand experience of a hugely popular fly zone.
Oh, yeah. So we're at the American Canyon Cement Factory, and this is one of our favorite kind of flying spots to escape the city.
Hard to find spot? Yeah, it's crazy.
The coast is clear. The only people spotted nearby are two graffiti artists tagging the old walls.
I feel like, the graffiti artists and us, we have a little bit in common in that way. We both kind of practice our craft on the edge of the law, gray area, and just try to enjoy this area. I mean, no one else is.
Colby and his buddies are here to learn the layout of this legendary racing spot so that he can recreate it virtually in the simulator.
Where do you guys want to pop up right here?
It's when drone racing becomes an e-sport.
I would love to have kind of an abandoned environment to play around with in the simulator and kind of get my hands on and create some tracks and give pilots around the world an opportunity to experience this place.
But first, Colby and his mates have to race.
Colby, our track master, will almost certainly come up with some holes for us to hit, and we'll do some hot laps as fast as we can through it. I'm sure you guys are going to see some explosions and stuff like that, so it'll be fun.
The local pilots, who later compete on this virtual course, all gear up.
All right, Larry, let's see it.
While Colby sets out a track using the obstacles around him.
All right, guys, let's do this. 3, 2, 1, go.
Coming down through the long section.
Coming around through the sketchy video part. Oh, I don't know who's in the lead right now, but I got a lot of people in front of me. Diving down through the chute.
Up and over.
Oh, and complete video blackout.
Oh. All right, bringing her in. It wasn't a hard crash.
Roll over, yeah, it was right behind you.
When you race in real life, crashing costs money.
Walk of shame.
So now it's back to Colby's computer to start building the virtual course.
So what I did is I actually went to Google Maps and got the actual measurements. I got the satellite view, and so I came into the simulator and tried to recreate the environment. This probably took me, I want to say, 8 hours to just get the general layout down, and then a couple hours to put a track on it. So it's a lot of work.
Colby is the host of a weekly online racing tournament. And what he's just built is going to be the track for tonight's virtual race.
You guys ready for the simulation?
Yeah, how you doing, man?
Good to see you. The track's pretty easy, so if you guys want to get set up, get your laptops going.
Right on, I brought some beers.
We're gonna crown a champion tonight, give away some prize money, and hopefully one of these guys wins it. But there's a lot of fast pilots online, so we'll see what happens. Bam.
The Californian racers will face off against 20 pilots from different countries around the world in the Velocidrone Racing League.
We have 5 people in here gaming on max. It's gonna get really hot in here.
I played Velocidrone from my apartment with these guys a couple of times, but never come over and done it in person with them. It's quite interesting. It's a lot of fun to be in the same room as everybody. Kind of hear a lot more the yells and the screams, especially from those guys.
No, that blue flag, the blue flag.
Yeah, so coming into the race tonight, we kind of already have a leg up on the other guys because we know what we're doing. We were out there already flying the track. In real life, we just have to translate that to the sim.
Pulling away from the pack right now, him and
When he's not actually competing, Colby, along with his Canadian co-host, provide live race commentary to a huge following on Facebook and Twitch.
So tonight we are racing on a replica of the American Canyon world famous FPV site up in Northern California. So we recreated the actual environment, and we're gonna give pilots an opportunity to rip around the track tonight that we created on it.
Colby's mates must now see how they can adjust to this virtual track.
All right, you ready, man?
Absolutely.
Right on,
Let's do it. Lights down.
Get out of here, Doug. Get off me, Doug. Yes! Finally.
First lap through, starting the second lap. I believe I am in last place. I got hung up against the wall in the big power loop. We'll see. We'll see. Stayed ahead of this guy.
Yeah, I flew solid pretty much, but just really slow.
He goes into turtle mode.
The international competition has been much fiercer than the Californians expected.
I have a lot of race experience, so I kind of know like what's going through pilots' heads, what they're trying to do on the track strategy-wise, and what they need to do to kind of move into that top position to move on.
Just as drone hardware is rapidly evolving, so is this software.
You know, every single version, it feels a little bit closer and closer to reality, so it's definitely great for practice, it's definitely great for lines, and on the tone in less than 5, so if you'll excuse me for just 1 second.
Oh, baby. Oh, that hurt.
I see a green line right in front of me.
Hey, nicely done, brother. Right on.
Oh, good times.
When it's all wrapped up, the boys need to wind down.
It's nice to actually fly with people in the same room for a change, because I'm used to just flying with people on the simulator, so it was fun to get the crew together and kind of just joke around and have fun racing. Well, hey, we didn't break any quads, so that's the good news. Cheers.
Through these weekly tournaments, Colby is a driving force behind the growth of the online drone community, and he sees a bright future ahead.
I mean, I don't think there's anything that local governments can do to really hold back the surge that drone racing is on right now. We really need to think about how to create a drone airspace that, you know, air traffic respects, and we respect them, and we all have a safe environment to fly.
That time has come in South Korea, a country that has recently proven that city-based FPV pilots no longer need to become guerrilla droners. South Korea's #2 pilot, Young Rock's son, is on the way to fly his quads without seeking out secret spots or risking arrest. Seoul has over 10 million inhabitants crammed alongside the Han River, and yet Young Rock is able to fly right in the middle of it legally.
I'm using this park every weekend, and if I have a race, I use this park 4 days after school. I can just pack my backpack and come here and have fun.
This park is the first of its kind where people can practice freely. Young Rock goes with his dad.
Young father and almost a coach. So I'm analyze all of his flight in the vision, and when I get back to my home, I will check how can I make him more the faster. 속도 붙일 때 속도 붙이고 뺄 때 속도 뺄 때 넣을 때 확실하게 하고 더 빨리 쳐야 돼, 더 빨리. 그렇지, 미리 꺾는 게 좋다. 이번에처럼 그렇게 미리 꺾는 게 훨씬 낫다. 빨리 쳐, 더 빨리, 더 타임 더 빠르게, 그렇지.
The most important thing is practice, right? Flying more than other people.
키감 확인하고. 키감은 어떠냐? 부드러워.
With 27,000 square metres of airspace open to all, the park was created after enthusiasts lobbied the local government, who actually listened. And its popularity has increased ever since.
사실 드론 파크가 국내 서울에서 생기면서 그간 서울에서는 드론을 날릴 데가 없어서 많은 분들이 이제 뭐 드론은 샀는데 드론을 날릴 데가 없었다라고 했는데 2016년도에 드론 파크가 생기면서
Like many Korean pilots, Young Rock is rising up the international rankings.
Korean people are good at drones because they practice a lot after school, and their parents have a passion about learning. They have a passion.
Perhaps the forward-thinking Korean authorities have paved the way for the future. But of course, there'll always be the mavericks who love the thrill of breaking the rules. Back in New York, the Stayfly Multi-Rotors crew are heading underground.
Right now we're in the spot we call the underground spot. Like when it rains and stuff, we come here, or late nighttime we come here, it's all lit up.
But after avoiding authorities all day, the law may have finally caught up with them.
Yo, watch the security guard, Chris. Sometimes they're cool, sometimes they're not, you never know.
Thankfully, security turns a blind eye, as they often do.
We're still gonna fly. Just gotta keep our eye open and rip those packs.
To the Stayfly Brotherhood, it's not about breaking the rules. It's simply about finding freedom in the big city.
These guys are very unique, you know, they're really passionate about the sport, but what you can see is almost as if they grew up with each other. This is a tight-knit fam, and they eat together, go party, do all the stuff together. That's what I like about this group.
Guerrilla FPV pilots can always find a way to do what they love, especially if they work together.
Great, boys.
Nice.
Yeah.